Hello everyone, and welcome back to the fifth part of this course. In this video we're going to learn about how to use while loops in Kotlin. And using while loops in Kotlin is pretty much the same in Java. So let me create a variable var val x is equals to 4. Now the way we can create a while loop is by using a while keyword and a parenthesis. And inside a parenthesis is a condition. Inside of the while loop we'll execute. So let's print len something and print x and run this, and you see our console gets crazy because our condition always true, so our while loop runs infinitely. Now we know how to use a while loop. We can actually print all the elements in an array, and the way we do that is, let me create a new array, and let's name this, let me delete this code here, also here, and it's going to delete that. Now let's create new val, and let's name this as array and set it's an array of, so let's put hello world, and there you go. Now let's create a counter variable. Let's say var counter is equal to 0, and let's create a new variable too for the length of our array. So let's say len is equal to array that size. So what this size does is that it gives us the length of our array, which is, as you can see, 3. And now let's make a condition our while. So let's say counter is less than len. Then in every iteration, so let's print an element and increment our counter in every iteration. So let's run this code, and we got hello world and an exclamation mark. So that's pretty much it on how to use while loops in Kotlin. And there's another loop that we can use to print every element in our array, and that is for loop. And making a for loop in Kotlin is very much simple. But first, let me create an array. So let's say val r and set it to array of function, and let's put some elements here. Okay, 1 and 8. So now the way we can, so let's write for loop here, for followed by parentheses, and let's start to create a variable that we can put every element in our array, and that will be I. For naming convention, I put I in there, and followed by in and the name of our array. So what this does is that in every loop, I here will contain each of the element of our array, but the value of our I would be dependent on every iteration. So let's try to print I so that we can see what will happen, and run this. And as you can see here in our console, it just prints every element in our array. So in every iteration our I changes. So in the first iteration our I will be 2, in second iteration be 4, third 5, and so on and so forth. But enough with the arrays. There's actually a cool feature in our Kotlin. Let's imagine you want to print something from 1 to 10. The way we can do that in Kotlin is so easy. We can just use range. So we can just use the range. So the way we can do that, let me delete this. Let me delete our array. And the way we can do that is by let's write 1 and put double dots in there. So our double dot indicates that we're going to create a range. So here this means is that this range here contains 1 10. And our I here in every iteration just prints 1 to 10. So let me try to run this program so that we can see what's going to happen. And as you can see in our console, it prints 1 up to 10. So it's kind of easy. So that's how you create range in Kotlin. But what if we want to reverse it? The way we can do that is by using a down to keyword. First, so let's write 10 and write down to, and after that will be 1. So here we are going to print 10 down to 1. So let's try to run this, and as you can see here, we start by 10 and ends with 1. So what if we want to decrement it by 2, not just 1? So the way we can do that is by writing a step keyword. So in every iteration it decrements 3, so our I would be decremented by 3. So let's run this program, and as you can see in our console, we got 10, 7, 4, and 1. How's that? We start by 10, then subtract it by 3, then we got 7, minus 3, we got 4, and minus 3, we got 1. So that's how how much we decrement in every iteration, how much we decrement from I to every iteration. But what if we want to reverse this too? So let's say 1 up to 10. So let's run this and see what happens. And the same thing, we just start with 1 and add it by 3, which is 4, then plus 3, which is 7, and plus 3 equals 10. But there's something more in ranges. We can actually, let's say we want to print A up to Z, and the way we can do that by writing A and say and up to Z. So we have a range here with A up to Z. Then let's try to run this, and we got, oh, I almost forgot we didn't delete it. So we didn't discard of the 3, our step, and we got the whole alphabet print out. So here we prints A and then up to Z. So it's a very cool feature that you can use in Kotlin. It's pretty much useful, and that's pretty much about it in this video. I hope you learned something. See you in the next video. Bye.